Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
A man is still on the run this evening after running multiple stop signs and not pulling over for Fargo police. Good evening and thank you for joining us. The man ended up ditching a vehicle and running on foot. Fargo and Moorhead police are looking for Josh Ashenko. He's wanted on several warrants, including possession of a controlled substance and drug paraphernalia. Fargo police say they believe Ashenko is connected to a search in Castleton 2 weeks ago and is also wanted in connection with a stolen vehicle in the West Acres parking lot on Friday. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop joins us live from downtown Moorhead, where Ashenko was last seen. Ashley?
Moorhead police tells us that they've been working, the Metro Street Crime Unit has been working to find Josh Ashenko for several days now. Right here behind Country Greenery is where they thought they had him, but yet again he ran from police. Fargo police tell us they tried to pull Ashenko over just before noon when he ran several stop signs. Then he started to continue to run at high speeds. Fargo police say they have a no chase policy, therefore they did not chase him. Ashenko made his way into downtown Moorhead, ditched his vehicle behind Country Greenery, then got out and ran on foot. Moorhead police say that the white Jeep Liberty did belong to Ashenko, as well as a nearby duffel bag that was dumped on the ground. Police say dogs were brought into the scene, but that's where the search went unsuccessful.
There's so many places that this individual could go at this point, with the businesses as well as the slow trains that have traveled by here easily could have jumped onto a train and gotten out of the immediate area. So at this point, we still would encourage the public to be aware of this individual.
While Ashenko was on the run, we heard over the police scanner, they say that Ashenko is known to have stolen cars in the past, and that was something they were keeping their ears on. In Moorhead, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Fargo police say they don't think Ashenko is a public threat, but like anyone wanted by police, they suggest you use caution. Give them a call if you have any information. U.S. immigration laws could soon kill the music at Lancaster School in northwestern Minnesota. The school's music teacher, Alana Dawson, may soon be forced to return to Canada, leaving the school and its 155 students, grades K through 12, without a music program. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what's happening.
The sound of music may fall silent here on February 15th. Moorhead State grad and Lancaster music teacher Alana Dawson's visa runs out. U.S. immigration laws may force her to return to her home near Winnipeg.
I want it to be seen that, yeah, it's an important position. It's not about me at all. It's just for the kids. I mean, even if I can't stay, the kids are going to be without music or without a teacher because there's no one else in this area.
The shortage of teachers out there, and there's been a lot of stories, of course, in the newspapers and the televisions about the shortage of teachers. We were happy with one applicant. Now, it's very possible that she will have to go back to Canada at the end of February, or actually February 15th.
Superintendent Swantek says they've reached out to Senators Klobuchar and Franken and Representative Colin Peterson in an effort to get the Department of Immigration to extend Ms. Dawson's visa. But so far, they haven't had any luck. Ironically, if Dawson was a science teacher or librarian, immigration laws would let her extend her visa. Apparently, music teachers don't carry much clout with U.S. immigrations.
Countless friends and family members who are happy that they had music in school, and even coworkers here, they had music and good experiences in music in school, and they remember those.
Despite any and all arguments supporting a music program, the halls here may soon fall silent, including the school's pep band during basketball games.
Miss Dawson has done a tremendous job as
she's well liked by students.
Yes, faculty, students, parents. She's done a tremendous job down there in that program, and it will be a great loss for us if she has to go back.
From Lancaster, Minnesota, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Superintendent Swantek says he'll keep us up to date on any new developments on this story, and we'll be sure to pass along any new information as soon as we receive it. After fog and frost this morning, it's quiet around here. Will that change this evening? Here's Hutch Johnson with a look at the forecast. Hutch?
Well, for our immediate area, the only concern is going to be a repeat of some of that fog and frost across the valley. Right now, we have clear skies in the southern valley. Out to the west, though, notice an increase in clouds in south central North Dakota. Fargo's planner as we look westward toward those clouds, partly to mostly cloudy skies, light wind and temperatures slowly falling back into those 20s for much of the evening. Now, where there will be trouble is a storm system brewing in the Rocky Mountains right now. From Cheyenne to Denver through southern Nebraska, a winter storm is taking shape that will create some blizzard conditions for portions of the nation's midsection. All the red counties there, all the way toward Minneapolis under a winter storm warning. Blizzard warnings for Sioux Falls through towards Omaha. Travelers south and southeast, be advised, wintry weather will take hold there. I'll have details on what we can expect up here. We're not on the snowy edge of this system, Andrea, but the cooler edge. I'll have details on what you can expect in a moment.
All right, thank you, Hutch. A Cass County deputy was injured after trying to arrest a man with a warrant. Garrett Bird attempted to run away when Deputy Thomas Beam informed him that he had an active warrant and was under arrest. Deputy Beam intervened, trying to take Bird into custody, but Bird resisted arrest. With the help of other deputies, Bird was eventually taken into custody. After the incident, Deputy Beam was taken to a local hospital where it was determined he suffered a dislocated shoulder. Bird was arrested for assault of a peace officer and preventing arrest, as well as his City of Fargo warrant. North Dakota is facing a $1 billion budget shortfall. The reason? A massive dive in oil prices over the past year. State officials say there's no way anyone could have seen this coming. The state will deal with the budget shortfall 3 different ways. It will use all of the year-end balance and nearly $500 million from the Budget Stabilization Fund. Governor Dalrymple also announced this morning that state agencies' budgets will be cut by more than 4%. He says this short-term fix will keep the budget balanced as required by the North Dakota Constitution through 2017.
I think all in all, we're going to be fine. It was amazing that oil could come down that as much as it has, but we will deal with it.
Public school funding will not be affected. The World Health Organization declared an international emergency today over the explosive spread of the mosquito-borne Zika virus, which is linked to birth defects in the Americas. The WHO convened an emergency meeting of independent experts in Geneva to assess the outbreak after noticing a suspicious link between Zika's arrival in Brazil last year and a surge in the number of babies born with abnormally small heads. The organization estimates there could be up to 4 million cases of Zika in the Americas in the next year.
After a review of the evidence, the committee advised that the clusters of microcephaly and other neurological complications constitute an extraordinary event and a public health threat to other parts of the world.
The last public health emergency like this was declared for the devastating Ebola outbreak in West Africa in 2014, which killed more than 11,000 people. Emergency declarations are meant as an international SOS signal. They usually trigger increased money and efforts to stop the outbreak, as well as prompting research into possible treatments and vaccines. A woman who was one of the faces of Kroll's Diner for several years has passed away. Clara Hedin died on January 28th at age 88. Family members describe her as spunky, saying she was always a lot of fun to be around. That was made clear in the commercials she took part in for Kroll's Diner. In one commercial, she was part of a Kroll's gang that rolled into town. Aside from her time as a Kroll's lady, Clara was a longtime employee of St. Luke's Hospital in Fargo. Visitation will be on Thursday in St. Francis de Sales Catholic Church in Moorhead. Visitation is from 4 to 6 p.m. with a prayer service at 6. Funeral service, or rather a funeral mass, will be at 11 a.m. on Friday. On the menu for a select group of students at Freedom Elementary today, ham and corn salad with buttermilk ranch dressing. And the chefs are 5th graders. They're learning not only how to eat healthy, but how to make those healthy dishes too. It's part of a program West Fargo Schools and Family Wellness are partnering on, aimed at kids in the kitchen. It's very much a hands-on program, and for this group of 5th graders, it's their 3rd year. And their instructor, Nicole Auckland of Family Wellness, says she's seeing big changes from year one.
We do ask if they've made the recipes at home, and our numbers are increasing every time. So I think with repetition, the kids are getting more comfortable with doing these things themselves in the kitchen. You guys making things at home? Yeah? Yeah? A little more confident, I think, in the kitchen as well, and being safe.
And it isn't just the fifth graders at Freedom who get to be part of the program. All the fourth and fifth graders in 10 West Fargo schools, that's more than 1,600 kids, get their chance in the kitchen too.